My name is Stephen Mike, and I never thought I'd be the kind of guy telling a horror story like this. But what I experienced changed everything. I thought I knew about safety. I lived an ordinary life in a quiet suburb of Portland, Oregon, worked from home as a freelance web developer, made my morning coffee, took weekend hikes, and watched horror movies with friends, always laughing about how ridiculous and fake they seemed. That was until I found out someone had been secretly living in my attic for months right above my head, listening to my every move, breathing in the silence, and waiting. I didn't even notice at first. There were small things. Food going missing. Drawers half opened when I knew I'd shut them. Cold air drafts I couldn't explain. And the occasional odd thump in the night. It wasn't until my cat refused to go near the attic door, constantly hissing at it, unblinking, that I started to feel the dread creeping in. Still, I brushed it off until the night I came home late from a friend's birthday and saw the attic hatch swaying slightly. That was the night I decided to put up a hidden camera in the hallway. What I saw the next morning made my blood run cold. At 3:17 a.m., and filthy clothes slowly lowered itself from the attic, creeping around my home, even standing silently over my bed as I slept. I watched in horror as he climbed back up minutes before sunrise, like he'd done it countless times before. My body shook uncontrollably. This wasn't a haunting, this was a living, breathing person, sharing my space. I called the police immediately, but when they arrived and searched the attic, he was gone. All that was left was signs of his life, a makeshift bedding, and worst of all, photos of me, taken from inside the house, some from angles that suggested he'd been mere feet away, maybe even behind me. The fear became suffocating. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't focus. I moved from room to room, gripping a bat. Days went by, then weeks, and still I felt his presence. Then, one night, I heard the creaking again this time. From inside the wall. I didn't scream. I grabbed my camera, turned on the flashlight, and opened the panel, and he looked like something out of a nightmare, thin to the bone, eyes wide. I froze. But something inside me, fear, mixed with fury, snapped. I shouted, cornered him, and he bolted, crashing through my hallway window. He was caught by police 3 blocks away, still barefoot and rambling incoherently. He'd been homeless, living in different homes for years, sneaking into attics and crawl spaces, watching families from the dark. The officers said he was mentally unstable, dangerous, and that I was lucky to be alive. Lucky. I felt violated, broken. It took months of therapy, home renovations, and sleepless nights, but I didn't let it destroy me. I learned something. Vital fear can paralyze you or push you to act. I chose to act. I turned my fear into awareness. I now volunteer with local housing charities. If you're watching this and you feel something's off in your home, trust your gut. Lock your doors. Check your attic. Install cameras. Don't brush off the weirdness. Horror doesn't always wear a mask or rattle chains. Sometimes it just waits quietly above your ceiling, breathing your air, watching you sleep. I overcame this darkness by facing it, by not letting it define who I am. And now, I've turned my house into a smart fortress, adopted another cat, and finally found peace again. This experience didn't break. It built me into someone stronger, more alert. So take this story not just as a tale to scare you, but a warning, a lesson, and ultimately a message of survival. Because yes, someone lived in my attic for months, but I'm still here. I took my life back, and if I can, you can too.